Hello, welcome to the second episode of the LCS Lunker Podcast. Today we'll be discussing our fantasy draft went for all of us. We'll also talk about our favorite players in there. Going to talk about how the format is looking, where the finals are ending up, and the current meta flowing into match predictions.
Ooh, we got a spicy episode today. I'm really hyped about that Mark video.
I'm here with my co-hosts, Ahren.
Hello.
And Eddy.
Good morning again.
Well,
We've yet to record one of these in the
how you guys been doing?
Okay.
I've been doing great. I'm actually very excited for this week's episode, only because of the content that we have been delivered, not just by Mark, but also our own fantasy league. I am excited.
Unfortunately, the day we posted our first episode was also the day Mark posted his address, so we weren't able to talk about it then. But today is the 15th. It is a Monday, and we are just going to be recording today. So we had our draft on Friday, so a couple days ago, and then we're going to talk about that. But yeah. So.
Well, team, fantasy, sleeper,
Fantasy.
download the app,
Yeah.
create teams with your friends. That's what we did. All right.
Yep.
Are we satisfied with our
Not
team?
sponsored, but Sleeper. I know you guys are watching this, so sponsor us. We'll shout you out. All the
Surely they're watching. Yeah.
Sleeper, yeah, Sleeper's watching. But yeah, basically, I don't know if you guys understand how fantasy leagues work, but it's very similar to your basic football or basketball fantasy leagues, where you just draft players of each role to kind of put together a fantasy team. And then them doing well in games helps you score points towards each player, and then whoever has the most at the end of the week wins. League fantasy is a little different. It's very similar in the sense that you know each player has a top, jungle, mid, and ADC and support player, but you get kind of an interaction in the games of you get to pick and ban. That's kind of one thing that is a little bit different about League Fantasy. So basically, for your players and your opponent's players, you each go up against one opponent. You get to pick who your player will pick, and you'll try to ban out their champions. So I have Bwipo, right? And my opponent, Brandon, this week has Fudge. So if I were to pick, let's say I think Bwipo is going to pick Ahren, right? And Bwipo plays Ahren in a game, I get boosted points. Or if I think Fudge is going to pick Renekton,
like Fiora or something,
then his points get cut in half, right? Because I got the correct ban if you were to play Renekton.
Correct.
Other than that, there's not a lot besides just drafting, and then you can trade with people throughout the season. And then how it works for us, we have the max amount of people, 8 teams, so we have 8 players playing. So every single player in the LCS is entirely drafted. So at the end of the 6 weeks, because you can't go into the playoffs because not actually every team is in the playoffs. The last 2 weeks are spent because is it 8 weeks still, or no? It's not 8 weeks anymore.
It's technically 10 weeks, but remember, they removed 2 of the weeks as a break to not.
Oh no, there's just 6 weeks. Okay.
Oh, 6 weeks, and there's a 2-week gap.
Oh. Never mind.
So basically, we'll play 4 weeks of the LCS, and that'll be our fantasy league regular season. And then the top 4 teams remaining, so whoever has the best record. So half of us get to make it into the playoffs, and 1 seed plays 4 seed, 2 seed plays 3 seed, and then the 6th week will be the championship. So week 5 and 6 of the LCS will be our playoffs week. And so that's how it goes. I've been doing it for 2 seasons. My teams have sucked every year. Unfortunately, I've never made it into the playoffs. I think hopefully this year will be a little bit better. With our draft, we randomized it. We basically just the order of the draft. I happened to be first.
Ahren put a gun to my head and asked me to make him be first.
Yeah, that's the worst thing, right? Is for both both times I've did it, I had very first pick the first time, and that was Spring, and I picked JoJo, and JoJo had a bad split, so that pick didn't end up working out. I mean, I could have gotten like Berserker. Second time, I traded for JoJo, and it actually ended up being really good, but unfortunately, FlyQuest was terrible, so, you know, Spica kind of trolled games for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Draft.
but okay, so
Draft was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. We had one of our friends just essentially let the auto pick for him, and he somehow drafted players that aren't even in the league right now. Kudos to him. It gave him what? Licorice, Spyrax. It gave him impact too. That's pretty huge.
Yeah. 4 out of the 5 players well, actually, technically 5 out of the 5 that were drafted
are not in the
weren't
league.
even on leagues. So he picked up 2 subs.
Sleeper has Summit listed as a TL top laner.
Yeah, Sleeper is a little bit behind, but great app, sponsor a Sleeper.
Real.
We love you.
Please.
But yeah,
Please,
how do we think the teams that we have? Like, are we satisfied? Could there be any changes?
I'm very happy. I didn't get any Immortals players. I didn't get any Dig players, and I get any Shopify players. So I was pretty content. So how my draft went was with my first pick, I took JoJo, and then I knew, and how it's a snake essentially, right? So the first pick gets first pick of the second round, first pick of the first round, last pick of the second round, first pick of the third round, and so it basically just snakes like that, right? And so with my second round pick and my third round pick, because I get to pick back to back, I knew I was like, okay, top lane and support, I'm picking last no matter what, and because I knew I was going to pick mid first with JoJo, and I knew I had to get ADC and jungle no matter what, and I think at that point Berserker, Masu, and FBI were already all taken, so I was like, I took Meech because I did not want to be stuck with a bad ADC. That was rough. That's happened to me too many times.
RIP to Dignitas spawn.
Yeah, and so then I got lucky. I had to decide between Inspired and Contracts for my next pick. I went with Contracts. Can't be too upset about that. And it ended up working out because with my last picks, I picked Bwipo and Busio. So that meant if I would have been picked Inspired, I had 3 FlyQuest players, and I didn't want to bunch up all those together. Because, if FlyQuest has a down week, there's no way I'm winning, right? It's over. So, that was my team. I didn't think it went too bad. Second pick was you, Eddy.
Yeah, I already knew when I got second pick that Berserker would be instant for me because I knew Ahren was going to take JoJo Pion. So I just said, all right, let me get Berserker. A couple picks go by, and I realized, oh my god, Vulcan's open. So now I officially have the C9 bot lane, which is feast or famine, because I could either have like a complete buffet of points or just starve to death. And honestly speaking, I'm still excited to see C9 cook. Don't care. The next round, after Ahren had gotten Meech and Contracts, I had to pick up Dokla. Fun fact for anyone watching, Dokla, funny enough, comes from the same city like as me, Lowell, Massachusetts. This guy apparently he was like he was a couple years like on me, but we went to the same high school. I think he was like 4 years older than me. I was like a freshman, he was like a senior.
So you saw him in the halls?
I probably did. That's the crazy part. And it's like he played League with a bunch of people there too, because we used to have like a PC cafe kind of thing going on downtown until eventually that business just shut down, which is very rough. But he used to go there often, and then he told me about his whole story about how he went off to Oceania somehow. His parents hated the fact that he was a gamer, but he became successful off of it, so all the power to him. A couple more picks go by, and I realized, oh my god, I need a jungler and mid laner. And a good amount of the cast was taken, and my ass was not taking Jensen. So I said, all right, we're going to get Umti for jungle, and we're going to get Mask for mid lane. I am okay with getting Umti. He has a great team surrounding him. I said that TL would be like finishing like, third this season. So I have full faith in Umti. Mask is going to be my coin flip player because Immortals, the Great Lake team. So only God knows if he's going to put in work for me. But yeah,
there's something
I'm still
with
hyped.
you and these immortal junglers, or not junglers, mid laners, man. Balulu you had.
Balulu,
I
had faith in Balulu because I'm like, okay,
and then Mask.
Maybe he might do something, and now it's bad.
You have Jensen and you pick Mask. You want to get stuck with
I don't want
Immortals
Jensen, bro,
players.
the problem with Jensen is that if we enter if we enter like a meta where control mages aren't the thing, I have a feeling Jensen's just gonna flop. You put Jensen on like Jace, I'm not expecting anything from him. Tristana, I'm not expecting anything from him. If you put him on any AD champion, he's not gonna perform. Like, he may not do bad, but I'm not expecting a pop-up performance. Like, that's just nil. It's not happening. Yeah, so I'm.
But I think
what I have.
Yeah, it's all right.
But Dr. Vile Dynamite, I see you got your star player.
I got Core JJ on my first rotation immediately.
Didn't even let the
but I was forced.
He didn't even let the
on the
timer
rotation.
go by. He didn't even let the timer go by. He just took it immediately.
Yeah, I got it immediately. So I was fourth on the rotation, and I picked up Core as soon as I could. And then as soon as the second part of the snake happened, I got Fudge because no one took him, which is a little surprising.
Yeah,
because he's C9, so he's like it's a good amount of points. And then third rotation, I realized, the same, because Ahren blurted out what his thought process was during the thing, and I realized that I also needed an AD carry because I'm gonna be stuck with one of the bottom.
Did I
feeders.
say that during the?
Yeah, you did. You did, and so I took B-Boy.
Yeah,
which,
that was a good pick because, dude, you gotta have an AD carry player from an upper level team, otherwise you just can't.
Absolutely.
It's so hard to win.
Dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Which
then,
is why. Oh, sorry. No, you keep going. I'll say it at the end.
All right, and then so I was also very surprised that no one picked up Inspired near the very end here on my fourth.
Yeah.
And then same feeling there because Eddy didn't grab Jensen, so I grabbed Jensen.
Junglers weren't picked until like the very later half of the draft anyway. Everyone chose like carries.
Yeah, I don't know, because I just, from how it plays, right, and with the first pick, if I wanted to, like, try hard, I should have just taken Berserker. Berserker will end up with more points than JoJo, but I just, I want my player. I'm not too upset. I think they'll get very similar points anyway, but yeah. But also part of it is you do need an AD carry to win, because your AD carry is getting you the most points, because you have most farm, most kills. So that's because you get, points for farm in Fantasy League. You get more points for kills than you do assists, as
well as ward scores for the supports.
Yeah. So this really,
I think you do.
I don't. Maybe as like if they hit a certain number of ward score.
Yeah,
but I don't think it works the same way as
Sleeper as we discuss.
Yeah, but
I lied. I just kills, deaths, assists, and minions. What?
Yeah, I didn't think so, because the supports always have really even, especially when they in their spring when they would pick like Yumi and end the game with 0 farm. They always had like really even number of points. It was funny, but
yeah, well,
because that was fantasy pretty much. You still have a couple days. It didn't take us long at all. I mean, the day we drafted, we had set up our whole league before. I mean, we already had a pre-established players and stuff, but it doesn't take long to set up. You could draft, honestly, I think the day of playoffs, as long as you're drafting before playoffs, or not playoffs, sorry, the day before week 1, as long as you're drafting before then, you can, do your own league. So I suggested it's pretty fun. And especially if you're not like a huge fan of any teams and you're just like there to watch, it'll give you a lot of stuff to cheer for. Like, it just makes it a lot more entertaining during games. Like, I'm yelling at like,
he's swearing.
We've been demonetized. It's all over.
I'm just, begging, my Dignitas ADC to do something during the game.
It makes LCS a little more engaging past just like the actual game.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
It also gives you weird things to cheer for, because it's like, oh, please don't ban this pick. Please don't ban this pick. I need this pick. Oh, also it makes pick ban, by the way, the most stressful part of the whole game. It's terrible, because, I mean, if you get your pick, huge points boosted. But if your pick gets banned and your points get cut in half, I mean, it's horrid. I can't stand pick ban.
We forgot to left out. If you pick, let's say, a champion like Ahren, but your opponent bans Ahren, nothing happens. There's no point. There's no point
just even points.
No point boost or no point like degradation. Like, it's just the same.
Yeah, it'll cancel out.
All right. Well, you guys got we all got our favorites.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, it was really funny.
Huge.
Thank God. That's why I wanted either first or second, because I knew I could get JoJo no matter what, first or second. Because I knew first pick was going to be Berserker if I didn't get it, and if I did get first pick, then I could get JoJo. So I was so happy when I got that. I was shocked to see Core in the first rotation because I feel like you could maybe get him second and pick up. But at the same time, I think people threw and you were able to get Fudge anyway, so it kind of worked out.
Yeah.
Getting Core then was actually a necessity because you had Armadeon and Rain like right afterwards, and they might have grabbed Core like somewhere within their picks. So Val
maybe I don't know. I think Rain had a pretty Rain first picking Quid Sniper was shocking, but hey, it makes my games a lot more believer. Fun. Yeah, I guess so. And then he denies being a 100 Thieves believer and then picks them to win. But whatever. Picks their players and he's like, no, I don't care about 100 Thieves.
Whatever.
Nate Shot, don't let that stop you from like silencing us, bro.
Please, let me get the Dragon Ball keycaps, bro.
Real.
Yes.
But yeah, draft was very solid. I
think we all picked up good teams.
For sure. Pretty happy about it.
I'm just glad Mario was there to soak up all the bad players.
He really did, man. I have no words. Oh well, it's okay, Mario. We still love you. No, honestly, I would love to see that man somehow go undefeated with what he has. That would be a beautiful story.
I would cry. Also, that means something's gone horribly wrong for Cloud9 if that happens.
I feel like I would cry about it, but also be amazed, being like, you know what? It's my life, and this happening just makes sense. I didn't want it to be easy anyway. But yeah, that was our draft. But let's get on to the news. My boy Mark Z dropped a bomb with that video. A 14-minute video breaking down what he was gonna do as commissioner. What were some of the small takes, like every game being on live patch, so whatever you see you can just immediately do. So if you watch an ADC like play Kaisa and build like Lost Chapter, Noon Quiver, or some other nonsense that she'd be doing, you could just straight up go into your game and do that now. They shortened the analyst time, which is pretty big.
I love that so much. It's now pre-recorded drafts and stuff. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, no, it's really good only because of the fact that the casters and the analysts can focus more on like the more fun stuff than always having to be like data oriented. Because Mark was kind of right when he said that viewers will sometimes just like tune out after a game is done, so they're just like, oh, let's shorten a couple things like down. I'm with it. I think my only concern with that is like, okay, do players have to like rush things? Like, is anything gonna have to be like rushed? Are they gonna be good and all set with like their own little routines? Of course, they're playing
one game a day. I think they'll be fine. I think pre-recorded draft doesn't really change anything. I think it'll be nice. I'm a big stats guy, so I really loved like the post game stuff they would show, a lot of it. Sure. But I think it's a lot it's just a lot better to be able to get right into a game, because sometimes it would run a little bit long, and it leaves more time for them to do, because they said it was like ad and then fun video, and so then they don't have to do stats in between, and that means they can like front load statistics pre and post game show from your analysts, which gives me a lot more reason to watch the pre and post game if I'm not like hearing a bunch of stuff said over and over again about
yeah, also, I forgot what I was going to say. Hold on. So, I forgot again.
While Brandon remembers, the fact we're back on weekends. Holy crap. Like, we're finally back to Saturday, Sunday, which is, like, amazing. I got used to the whole, Thursday, Friday? Oh, yeah, because you got actual college sports.
I got sports
to start looking at.
So I'll have a harder time watching I'll watch like VODs and stuff.
Especially hopefully since the NFL is now reaching their playoff, like.
Yeah, but I'm not watching the NFL.
Yeah, I forgot you're not an NFL.
Maybe some of these, maybe obviously I'll watch like Super Bowl, and I might start watching more of the playoffs because the playoff games do tend to be good. But yeah, Tennessee basketball will take up some of my time, but it'll be okay. Sunday I got nothing going on. So
we'll figure it out. We'll be here.
Everything. It was really nice to be Thursday, Friday as a person that has, no job.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It was pretty nice.
But for the overall health of the LCS, I would rather it be on weekends because that's better for more people overall, and I just want the LCS to not die.
Especially since the majority of their players are in school, whether it be high school or college. It being on the weekends is just freeing, very freeing. I will say the fact that they said, "Oh, we'll find a way for fans to be more interactive," I find that to be very funny because they were like, "Oh yeah, you could have a vote on which lane you want to watch more." That's pretty cool. When they said that you can send messages to the casters, I'm thinking,
casters reach chat.
This is gonna be a mess. I feel like their moderation team is gonna have to be paid overtime, time and a half, bro. Because to be filtering through certain messages, I'm not ready, man.
It's unique.
For anyone that has watched the LCS, it doesn't even matter what year. You already know chat will sometimes go into sheet mode where they'll just copy paste messages that are there. NA production, TT tours, what face when they hear a noise. It's very funny, but I don't think there's anything of substance to be grabbed from Twitch chat ever at all. It's just reactions, and there's no substance at all. No one's discussing anything.
No.
So but, I find that to be a little scary.
Yeah. I think one thing to point out was he said he was going to keep, or Mark said he was going to keep the best of one, which I saw a lot of people upset about, but he gave a pretty legitimate reason. I mean, if you're trying to change all these things and then you change best of 3, which is a huge change, you won't be able to see showing data based on if it's gonna, be better. So I do think that probably means we will see best of 3 summer, maybe.
Best of ones, I think, are a lot better.
You prefer best of ones? I think best of 3 could probably be better.
I prefer best of 3 also. I mean, I see why. I
think best of 1 is good for this split because you do want to make sure you can see what's changing. So I'm not upset about it, but I do kind of hope we see best of 3s. I initially was a big best of 1 fan when I first started watching because I was like, oh, this is football, and where they just play a game and you play out the regular season, and then then when you should get into the playoffs, then it gets more important. But I do think with a game like League, where one, it's not physically intensive, and games are only 40 minutes, it would be nice to see best of 3s, especially now when you only have 8 teams.
I don't know how you can say this game isn't physically intensive when I see some players with whole tape on their arms. They get rolls of that shit just on their wrists and arms just to play, and I'm like, oh crap, they're getting into it. This is real.
I don't. Maybe.
I know what you mean.
They're not getting into car crashes every week.
It's not a contact. This isn't a contact sport.
It's not a contact sport at all.
No one's touching each other.
Yeah, because baseball isn't a contact sport, and that's physically intensive. Yeah. This is you can sit in your chair, and I mean, I'm not actually, but.
Are you telling me gaming isn't a real sport? What?
It's a sport. What? But not it's an esport.
It's an esport. Yeah.
Esport.
Yeah, which I like just as much, but I just can't say that they're putting their bodies on the line like some of these other guys, which is fine. It's not necessarily amazing to have brain damage. Coming out of football.
No one's getting CTE in the LCS.
That's what I say. Me and my family, we always talk about, okay, if we could be anything in the world, we want to be a backup quarterback or for an NFL team and just sit on the bench and make $1 million a year.
You'll never have to worry about CTE.
Yeah.
A torn ACL.
You go to practice, you spend a lot of time putting all the hours, but you're not just dying on the field. It's great.
Real. Brandon, you ever remember what you forgot?
I remember and I forgot as soon as you reminded me.
Oh my god.
Wait. So basically, the live patch thing that you said before, there actually is going to be a tournament realm for the live patch on PBE. I mean, the PBE. So they're going to be able to practice. There's going to be a tournament realm so they can practice on versus other teams on the PBE. So they also can get a head
start. So their
there.
weekly scrims, Okay, so that makes it where it doesn't hurt that. Yeah, the weekly scrims and stuff. Where, they're not scrimming on the wrong patch. Okay, that's.
And also, as well, I'm very happy about the pre-champ select before the games.
Yeah.
Because you saw on the LEC yesterday when recording, there's like 2 really long pauses. So we don't really have those in Champ Select. Those issues will happen on stage when someone spills their water, like Jojo Pion does all the time.
All the time. But yeah, and then on top of that, right? And it doesn't take away from, draft for casters or anything, and that's what's like really important, because it's the same thing for coaches and players. If they're drafting on stage or in there, they're going to do the same thing. It's kind of like an entertainment thing for it to be live, but if they're just pre-recording it and then showing it to casters and us at the exact same time for the first time, you'll get the same kind of stuff from casters, and we'll get to react to it the same way. So it doesn't really take anything away from us. It just, speeds everything up. So I kind of like it. I very much think it's a great change.
Good change.
I think Mark is already doing pretty great as a commissioner. One thing I would be very sad about, we may not see him as much in like content. Like,
I know.
I'm gonna miss catching up with Double Lift.
Well, they might keep that, but
it's not gonna be
speaking
the same
of
without Mark.
Yeah, speaking of no Mark, our biggest rival, The Dive, lost Mark today, and they posted a video.
Oh yeah.
It's no, did you see the video? It's Meteos now.
Meteos is there?
Yeah, they got Meteos.
They're adding Meteos.
Gonna be talking about WoW on a League podcast, bro.
No. Whatever. Honestly, he came from an era where MOBAs were like ruling the world, so that's fine. That's pretty huge, though. I can't wait to watch our rivals and steal data.
It was a pretty good video that they posted. It was funny, but then, yeah, I know, but maybe we'll have to see.
Mark also discussed what's it called, where the finals would be held.
Oh, yeah, it's March 31st. Right, was the date.
Yeah. Does anyone have any like strong predictions? Because me right now, I think it's either going to be held in Canada, anywhere in Canada, or
probably
the West
Toronto
Coast.
if it's in Canada. I can't. Toronto, maybe. I mean, the capital of Canada, it's Ottawa, I'm pretty sure.
But I'm still thinking, either around that area or the West Coast, only because with the past couple finals, New Jersey, Raleigh, they also had Chicago and then Houston. Like those were like the past 4, and they've been like near this side of the U.S. that the West Coast hasn't seen much love with like any finals. I have a very strong prediction. It might be in either like Oregon or Washington if it's West Coast.
Well, yeah, and I don't know about Oregon. I mean, maybe Seattle, but that's the only place.
I think Seattle.
There's like nowhere in Oregon. Oh, there's Portland. Yeah, that's true.
So
that's part of the argument against like Canada is if they were going to do somewhere, it would be Toronto, and Toronto is like right next to New York. So that's another like East Coast area. I mean, Toronto's a great city. It's really pretty. I love Toronto. I've been there a couple times, but I would love to see it there. I don't know if they'll put it there this spring. So I'm thinking probably not Canada yet. Maybe in summer, especially because it'll be really nice out then. I don't think you want to do Canada summer finals. Obviously, if you're an indoor, it won't really matter as much, but you don't want to be walking around freezing cold. I mean, that's why they did it in Raleigh in the South. So probably not spring in Canada. And maybe not Seattle because it'll also be cold there. But yeah, if it was just another place in California or maybe Las Vegas could be pretty cool.
Oh, and Las Vegas is actually really good.
I wasn't even thinking of that.
Personally, I really want to see it at some point in Nashville. I think it's got to, because I'm from Tennessee. That'll be cool. Nashville's also a pretty cool city.
You could lodge in your little apartment and watch.
Yeah. Well, it's like 2 hours away from where I live, but.
Closer. That's closer from where I'm at, so I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, I mean, I got people I could stay with in Nashville too, which would be fun. But I think Las Vegas would be great. Part of it, though.
Not really. I mean, I thought about Philadelphia, which wouldn't be bad, but that's definitely more of better for summer.
Maybe Phoenix.
Phoenix has
for spring.
Yeah,
you don't want to do it.
I'm saying, Ahren's listing out West Coast options, and I'm thinking it's gonna be somewhere. I'm thinking more Northwest, but somewhere there.
I think Southwest. I think it's gonna be a Southwest spring and a Northeast summer. I think they're gonna go Toronto in the summer, and then either Vegas or Phoenix. Maybe I'll lock that in. Those are my predictions for spring: Vegas or Phoenix.
I'm keeping all those in mind. I can't wait. Even wherever they bring it, I already know the LCS is gonna put in work. Riot is gonna hopefully support them, put in the work. I fallen in love with the stage that they use for every final. I can't get over it. It's their thing. Like our whole thing is like a diamond. I'm with it.
The stages are very, very cool.
Yeah.
I think it's got like just crazy production, which is pretty awesome. And that's what makes just League of Legends as an esports so good, is because there's just so much money put into it that it just feels, I mean, like more than an esport, honestly.
We got to watch it live.
Yeah.
I have no words, man. That was was beautiful.
And it was for an awesome series too.
Regardless of I won't even talk about that. But it was still a great time. I had fun.
It was great.
I had fun until the very end result of the final, but it was fun nonetheless.
Eating some expensive empanadas.
$3 for an empanada.
I think 4 or 5. I don't know.
I think it was 5.
Yeah.
God damn.
We're not proud of that, but we tried breakfast spots in New Jersey.
We couldn't find them.
We couldn't find a single thing.
Room was closed.
Yeah.
Still fun.
But crazy enough, we still gotta figure out what pick bands for fantasy, and we already know the LEC.
Well, I did mine.
You already did yours?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've just been watching the LCS, so I just kind of went off of that.
No, so surely you expose what you've picked or banned.
No, not at all. I'm playing against Brandon.
So Brandon can get an advantage.
That's not happening. But looking at the LEC, I mean, we've had a bunch of games, so we kind of get to see how the meta is playing out. There's 2 champions. Oh wait, have you guys looked at this that you sent?
I have.
The screenshots I'm looking at
both
now.
of you? Dang, okay.
Kalista
I was
Rumble,
gonna quiz you, yeah.
No, at the time of this screenshot, have a 100% pick ban rate. That is
they have presence,
insane.
Oh,
like actually insane. What, 15 games for both of them? Just 100% like presence, and that's like that's huge.
Well, Rumble's only played in 1 game. It's been fed 14 times because there's been 15 games total. Rumble's been fed 14 times.
No one wants to fight against that dog.
It actually lost when they picked it. But yeah, Rumble's awful to fight against. Kalista, 9 bans, 10 games played. It has a 16% win rate though. It's not been winning either.
That's because it's a character in the right hands that can really like make a bot lane have no early game, but if done wrong, you'll be celebrating on the enemy team, being like, oh crap, they don't know how to play the character.
I think the character, honestly, or the champion to honestly watch out the most for 2 of them. Azir is really strong, and it also doesn't get banned a lot. And Jin Zhao. Jin Zhao's got a 72 or 73% win rate. It's been in 11 games, and it's got 8-3 win-loss record. Only banned 1 time.
Nocturne being high up there with Zin is actually pretty sick to see. Yeah,
of course that's like purely a ban champion. It also has 0% win rate.
Oh my god, 12 bans. I lied. Yeah, this dude has only seen 1 game. Oh my god.
All the LeBlanc picks, it's Eddy LeBlanc for both of the LeBlanc games.
Eddy LeBlanc is back. How fun.
I don't think it's ever.
So, which is funny enough, that's the only like AD mid laner in the meta is AD LeBlanc, which is interesting. But yeah, a lot of Nico, a lot of Zir, a lot of LeBlanc.
Akali's seeing a lot of top lane presence. I want to know like the thought process there.
Merwin picked it in the Mad Lions KC game as a counter to Jax and kind of cooked with it.
Yeah, I guess I can see how that's being played out because Homegirl has like a win-loss ratio of 5-1.
But Humanoids picked it. Yeah, Akali's done well.
Yeah, Akali's pretty strong, right? They're on a previous patch. We're on the B patch of 14.1, but they're on the previous one, so Akali's a lot stronger there as well.
I didn't even know that.
Would they nerf for Akali going through the next game?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, I'll have to look at it later then.
Still putting in the work, but the win-loss.
Oh yeah,
Kasante's still strong. One of the bigger ones was Nocturne for sure, especially with Hexplate being added is a very good item on him.
Hexplate is that item is not okay. I slept on it. It is not okay. Like it gives a crack boost to champions that don't deserve that crack boost. I haven't. The freedom of item choices for some champions. I just do not feel comfortable with. I don't consent. Not with.
ADC players.
Yeah,
Even
ADC players,
even champions like Zarya tried to build this shit, man. It's not fun. It's not fun. All these ADCs getting a bunch of health and damage. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Gwen has seen my girl. She's seen a lot of blind picking actually.
Gwen is very strong.
Yeah.
I think
she's got 100% win rate too.
She's a champion that I feel like is never like weak. I don't know. She never feels weak.
She's been pretty good. Of course, she also got nerfed. It wasn't too bad of a nerf. But yeah, she was nerfed in this patch. Not in the patch that LCS is going to be played on. She'll be a little bit weaker.
I'm waiting to watch Fudge just blind pick Gwen and go like 0-7-1 and still win.
I think one thing that's kind of nice to see is Malachi only has a presence of 2 games. He's 13% presence. It just been picked once and banned once. It's got a 0% win rate. So, R.I.P. Malachi.
Are you telling me Malachi Duty is not broken?
And Sejuani. Malachi, Sejuani, neither one of them have seen a lot. It's been a lot of Jin Zhao. And I can't say Nocturne because Nocturne's just been banned, but Vi, Gragas.
We did have our
Jax jungle game.
We had our discussion about how like players will reach Challenger, like the highest points of league, playing like their own style, only to be forced on like tanks. Like watching, it's like Broken Blade. You can see where his name came from. He like played a bunch of Riven, sometimes Aurelia, and it's like he's now stuck on. There was like a period of time where he was just stuck on tank duty. So it makes sense that you watch these picks be very like they're very low performing only because these players didn't climb playing these characters. It's impossible to climb playing like Sejuani only or like Maokai only because then you're putting so much faith on your team, and to do that in pro play is like what you're supposed to be doing, but you never grew up playing that. So now you're essentially starting from like the ground up. Now I'm not saying these guys haven't put any work on the characters, but if this is completely outside how you got good, it's going to be rough for you.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that these characters that have very low like win rates. It makes sense.
All right. Well, should we move on to the last topic?
Ooh, our predictions. This is going to be spicy. This is going to be spicy. Our
First week
predictions team.
Yep.
What do we have
All
here
right.
for Saturday?
First game. Yep.
The first game is TL 100 Thieves. What are we thinking?
You both pick 100 Thieves.
I'm sorry, Brandon. There's two reasons this.
I own up to it.
One, a little bit of fantasy hopium. I got Meech. I need to see him do good to start out with. So I'm really hoping they can win that one. But also, I think, Sniper coming off. I think he can really show out. Hopefully Quid's got it together, and then obviously I think River can really help these guys out. So I'd love to see them win that game. I think they will win that game. I know they are definitely the underdog going into it, but I got faith in them in that one.
I am just expecting TL to struggle. I don't even think 100 Thieves is gonna like earn the win on their own. TL is just gonna somehow like fail every QTE and just end up losing. Yeah. I think that's just gonna be very natural for them. I still expect them to make playoffs and make a very far run, but I do not expect them to just find their chemistry immediately.
In this game, I just think Impact's gonna wall off anything Sniper tries to do, and then Core is gonna carry ball lane versus.
With the way the map is layered out now, Impact can have more of an island, but it depends actually. If 100 Thieves gets red side, I think actually no. If TL gets red side, I feel like this game's gonna be a lot harder for their bot lane because River loves having very like obscure angles for ganking, and with the way the blue side like how red side's like blue side is put together, it's gonna look very rough for like Meech and Ayla.
Real quick, I did mean to talk about that actually. In the LEC, red side has a better win rate than blue side.
They have a better win rate?
Yeah, red side's winning more games.
Wow, what the hell?
Yeah. So this should be interesting. And I just closed the thing.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I still think with the LCS, red side's gonna have a very rough time, like doing anything. Yeah, it's all side dependent, at least in my own head. Because I know
Really?
we had Rain
But
talk
at the
about
same
it.
time, these aren't red side, blue side though.
No.
Yeah, they're not accurate.
This is just how it's layered out. But I still think
I mean,
this is still like a part of my bias too. I have but what's his face? Mario has impact, and I have to pray impact does terribly in order to win fantasy. Because this
Fair
dude
enough.
has like the bottom of the
You
barrel.
do okay, yeah. You do not have to pray impact. Impact could do as good as he needs, and it does not matter. You have a free ride this week. This guy's got
Real.
Immortals and Dignitas players exclusively, besides Impact.
Yo, watch
It does not
Aaron
matter.
watch Aaron talk down on those two teams, and they end up like the top like two teams at the end of the season.
They're not gonna end up the top two teams. I can
Yeah,
tell
we're
you.
I want to come,
Luckily,
I want to come back to
luckily-
this when they are. It'd be so funny.
I'm just pretty happy because I face Mario week 2, so I get to just at least if
We
I
love you,
lose
Mario.
week 1,
I just
I
wanna
know I
beat
get to
you.
win week 2. Mario, your team's terrible. You're not winning anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you.
I
You're
still
actually
don't
just not
understand.
winning a single. You're not winning a single week. You're going 0-4.
Well, Aaron,
9?
not Aaron. Brandon, you are the difference with our pick of what is it? C9 NRG. You have NRG winning, while me and Aaron have C9 winning.
C9 does not get the run back, personally.
That is a
Wow.
bold statement. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real. You're definitely delusional, but I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
We finally have a proper mid laner. We have an actual support, not an autofilled support. The only way you beat us is through griefing Fudge. Like, you just somehow find a way to just tilt this man. I genuinely think so. I think
I'm so
C9
excited
can
for
cook.
that one.
I'm
Oh,
excited
man,
to
it's
watch
gonna be
that
so
game,
fun.
but I think C9 cooks.
I like that they do runbacks of the championship games. It's pretty fun to watch.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Surprised it's not
yeah.
the first one, though. They always usually do the first game.
I know, but I'm happy it's not the first one because
Oh, it's because of the layering with LEC. Because it layers with LEC, so they want that match to be the one rated by LEC.
okay.
Mm,
Are you telling me
Interesting.
production is out here thinking in like 4D?
yeah.
Our next matchup, FlyQuest and Shopify Rebellion. I already said in the last episode that I believe in Shopify Rebellion. I am ready.
And you don't believe in Jensen?
I don't believe in Jensen. No, I really don't. I genuinely don't. He might. Okay, so I might be tunnel visioning my hate. With the way the items have changed now, he might be able to do more than he used to. But I still don't have faith in that man. So Shopify Rebellion all the way. They're also like what part like sponsored by like Moist Esports. They got like a small collab with them. So I'm this is me cheering for like Moist Critical, like Moist Critical's extended family.
Extended. Like third cousin, bro.
His third cousin. I'm cheering for him.
I get it. I think, yeah, I also think FlyQuest just takes it. I think.
I got
My
faith.
prediction's based on Hopium. I statistically speaking, FlyQuest should take this, but I think it's more fun to cheer for Shopify Rebellion.
I see.
This last one, I don't think.
Yeah, it does not matter.
It doesn't. You don't care because you don't have any Dignitas or Immortals players.
True.
So
thank you.
your opinion with this matchup does not count. But I think Immortals can put in work. I have Mask, Damascus, the GOAT. He can put in work.
The mask.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, doesn't mean-
No, he's actually not going to do anything. I did actually pick Immortals, but
Yeah. Huh.
I honestly think I might have flipped a coin.
Brandon,
I don't-
why do you think Dignitas is winning?
Yeah,
Not really any reason in particular.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's the bottom two teams, man. It's so sad that we can't even
I try to
pretend
make-
come up with reasons. My
No,
only reason is
yeah.
fantasy, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
Oh,
one
well.
of these two teams is gonna. Hey, that means one of these teams get to come out middle of the road LCS team week 1.
I
in
would like
terms
to
of
say there
standings.
was an era
Proud of
of like LCS, or let me say NA LCS, where Dignitas really ran shit. Like there was a whole era, and now they're just a bottom team, man. Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad, dude. Oh well, what's done is done. We move. But Sunday, I think, is also pretty action-packed. First matchup is Shopify Rebellion versus TL. I have to be the black sheep here. I had Shopify Rebellion winning because you already know they're my dark horse. Even though, like I said with the TL 100 Thieves matchup, I still have
TL
I still have TL making
02.
it. I still have TL making it like third in like the entire split. But like I said, they're not gonna find their chemistry
Rough
immediately.
start. Interesting.
That team is going to scale. I'm calling it now. TL is going to scale. They're gonna fail every QTE they do, but they will scale.
Scale. I got Team Liquid winning this one. I do have Shopify Rebellion going 0-2. I mean it's first week, but I think they'll be okay. They'll get it together. They'll win a couple of games. I think they'll beat teams worse than them and lose teams better than them. I don't think they'll be like too interesting of a team. But
what about White Boy Winter? My boy Insanity.
White Boy Winter. I do love Insanity, but APA is just as white.
He's the better white boy.
He's the better white boy. So I got AP. Yeah, I got AP. I do actually think that will be the deciding factor. But it'll be cool to see Fake God. I know Fake God was like very wanting to be top 4. He had even mentioned that, so we'll see how that goes. I don't hate setting realistic expectations. It's one of the first times I've ever seen a player saying, "Yeah, we just want to be top 4."
He said minimum top 4.
Minimum top. I mean, well, yeah, of course, minimum top 4, but I guess I'm curious to see what he thinks is the 3 stronger ones above him, if that means he thinks there are. But yeah, I think they'll get it together. But first week 0-2 for them. Yeah. Team Liquid I think takes this one. APA I think plays well, and Impact as well against Fake God. I think Impact, you did make a good point though. I do think Impact, he's running into 2 rookies to start, or not rookies. Fake God isn't a rookie, but
they're not. They're
he's
not.
He hasn't been in there for a while. Well, Sniper's a rookie, but
Sniper
Fake God, Fake God is not new to the LCS, but he's also hasn't been there for very long. So I think Impact can just he'll be able to deal again, or not again. But yeah, I think
Impact, like I said in the last episode, is just like top lane berserker.
Yeah,
TL win. You give this man any formation, like of just like, oh, you're playing strong side, you're playing weak side. We're gonna be doing this with you. It'll just help make it happen. If you have a plan, he's like an ideal top laner to have.
Okay.
Let's see. Next matchup, 100 Thieves, Cloud9. This matchup is something that I want to see happen, only because we're gonna be up against like a kind of rookied up squad of like, what is it, Meech, Sniper. Like, these are gonna be rookie players that we're gonna be going up against. And C9, I think this is one of the few teams that have no rookies at all. Like, no, the only changes we made were support and mid, and those 2 are not rookies at all.
No. I mean, there's only 3. Well, let me see. Yeah.
Or at least teams that have like brought in like
Fly's got a rookie. 100 Thieves has 2 rookies.
Immortals has them.
Immortals has 2 rookies.
FlyQuest has 1.
Yeah, so it's just those 3 teams have rookies.
I completely forgot. Do new imports count as rookies?
No. Some of these rookies are imports, but not new rookies. New imports do not count as rookies.
Okay.
If they were like, playing in higher levels. I think if you come from like Challengers League like Berserker did, and you're playing in the LCS, then you're a rookie. But if you're coming from like the LCK like Prince, you're not a rookie. And that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well.
But yeah.
I still think C9's winning. We all have C9 as like
Yeah.
the victors. I don't think there's anything else much to discuss at that matchup. So the next one, oh my god, the next one's even worse to discuss. FlyQuest Immortals. I can't even like try to stand out or be different with this matchup because I do have Mask as a mid laner, so I want Immortals to win. But FlyQuest, looking at this on paper, is obviously just the better team. Whippo, Inspired, Jensen, Masu, like Busio, up against the ragtag group of just Immortals. I would love to see Edward Talk cook against my boy Meech, but I don't think that's gonna happen. It's looking very slow. River Armao, That matchup we're not anything like stranger to. I think River, during his time on Golden Guardians, continued to put in the work against him. I don't think that's going to be any different here. Sniper versus Castle, though, I think that matchup is probably going to be very fun.
That could be good, yeah.
Not Castle. What am I saying?
Blippo.
Yeah, Blippo. Blippo's going to be very hyped to see. I don't think I have too much on this topic.
No. Yeah, I think it'll just be a FlyQuest.
Also, I said
Well,
River.
I don't know if it'll be
thing messed up. I said River. I meant Inspired. My fault.
Oh. I don't think it'll be a FlyQuest stomp because I do think FlyQuest will have like a slower start, but they also don't have a hard week, so I have them going 2-0 still. I think it'll take a little bit for the rookie, the rookie ADC and the new bot lane together, but I think those top sides will take care of it, but it will take a little bit longer. Or maybe Masu. If Masu comes out like swinging in this first game, especially against Shopify Rebellion, that could be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see him pop off the start. That'd be very fun, especially because I got Boostio, so points for me. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, all of us said FlyQuest, and then
the next match.
Onto the last game of the day is just NRG Dignitas.
Wow.
This is just an NRG stop. Yeah.
The later half of Sunday is more than likely just gonna be like stomps.
Oh yeah.
I hope not, but with the way it's looking, that's exactly what I'm seeing. I don't think NRG will give like Dignitas any room to breathe. NRG are 2023 summer champions, up against yet another ragtag group of players in Rich, XU, Dove, Tomo, and Isles. I don't doubt that Dignitas will put up a fight, but I do doubt that they win out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting you don't know what? I'm expecting like a 50-minute banger. I don't think the game will actually go to 50 minutes, but maybe 40, maybe like a 40-minute banger, but that's what I'm expecting.
No, this is a stop. I think they take care of business. I think they draft an early game comp, get out really strongly.
See, here it is. Energy tries to draft something different, something unique.
This is a one Baron, no soul game, I promise.
Yeah, that's such a league way of saying this is going to be a sweep. One Baron, no soul. I'm keeping that one. That one's beautiful. Yeah, no, I think Sunday is pretty laid out. I don't think there's gonna be anything crazy there, which is kind of sad. But you know what? I think Saturday looks
every
cooler.
team's playing each other though, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, no complaints there. Our live predictions are pretty much the same for the later half of that, so I can't really argue anything, which is lame, but it's okay. That means we're all on the same page. Can't argue with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we did just all pick the same thing.
Yeah.
Besides your Shopify.
We pretty much worked with what was on paper. I hope our opinions change. I hope some of these lower tier teams that we have somehow just make a breakout performance, and we're just all our data has just been turned on its head. It's useless.
Yeah, this is definitely an unimportant. Everything we say could just possibly mean nothing 2 weeks from now, depending on if there is a team that's just looking awesome.
I hope
with
so.
EG last year, EG was a middle of the road team. They finished third, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At one point they were, and they were first at one point. So. Which
is very real. TL somehow losing their mid laner and getting a substitute. That shakes things up for the league. I want to see these lower tier teams try and come out with something big.
I think for that to happen, it would definitely. I think if it's going to be one of those teams, it'll be. Unless Insanity's having a JoJo Pune season, it'll probably just be 100 Thieves with River just playing really really well, and then those two rookies are even better than we expected. So that could be a team to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the whole of what we had to talk about for episode 2. Next week will be after week 1, so you'll get our reactions to the games. We'll talk about what we thought we saw, go over any really cool plays from people, talk about, if there was some interesting things happening in games.
The only
what that
interesting that's
first
gonna
meta
happen
would be.
is Shopify Rebellion. Next week, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, Shopify Rebellion! I told you you'd go 2-0. I knew it. I knew it.
I'm quoting you on this.
I hope I'm not wrong."
It'll
But
be funny if you are.
I'm going. You know what? Last split, I put all my marbles into Immortals, putting in work. Spoiler alert: they did nothing. But Shopify Rebellion is my new hope. The third cousin of Moist Critical.
Great.
I'm ready.
All right, but yeah, I think that'll just end it for today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Ahren, do you have any concluding words?
Hi, Jacob.